Imagine walking into a grocery store in 2020, reaching for a box of disposable gloves, and realizing 70% of the world's supply comes from a single factory in Malaysia. Suddenly, a pandemic cripples that factory, and the shelves go bare overnight. This jarring fact cracks open a massive question. How fragile, how interconnected, and frankly, how fragile really is our modern world? Vaclav Smil's How the World Really Works pulls back the curtain, revealing truths most of us never see but desperately need to understand. Energy fuels everything, from the food on our plate to the steel in our buildings. But here's the catch. We dramatically underestimate how much energy, especially fossil fuels, sneak into everyday things. Take the supermarket tomato, grown in a greenhouse far from season. Smil reveals it carries the hidden equivalent of 5 tablespoons of diesel thanks to heating, fertilizers, and transport. It's not just a fruit. It's a diesel-powered bundle that highlights how deeply fossil energy is stitched into our food system. Think of fossil fuels like the bloodstream of civilization, unseen, relentless, and essential. Just like your heart pumps blood to every cell, fossil fuels pump energy into every corner of industry, transportation, and manufacturing. Without that flow, modern life stalls, yet it's far dirtier and more finite than the electricity from your outlet suggests. Despite promises and global pledges to cut carbon by 2050, Smil calls these plans a fairy tale. The sheer scale and chemical realities behind steel, cement, and plastics production means huge emissions are baked in. The dream of a clean energy future is real but won't come on the timeline politicians want. It's slow, stubborn, and uneasily entwined with the fossil age. Next, let's zoom out from tomatoes to the sprawling global dance of goods and resources. Globalization looks seamless until it suddenly is. Remember the rubber gloves pandemic shortage? Smil points to a single Malaysian factory. 70% of all protective gloves worldwide came from there. When COVID forced it offline, hospitals worldwide scrambled. A single hub, vital for millions, became a global choke point exposing our supply's brittle core. Imagine a spider web made of glass threads. Global supply chains, packed with just-in-time deliveries and offshore hubs, are like that web, efficient but delicate. A break in one spot reverberates everywhere. Centralizing production might cut costs, but it's a gamble with cascading consequences. Smil makes us rethink globalization's shine. Local production may seem costly or inefficient, but it builds a cushion against shocks. Overdependence on far-off suppliers trades resilience for convenience. If COVID's glove crisis taught us anything, it's that robustness sometimes beats cheapness. Finally, Smil tackles the environment, our home and battleground, which we treat with hopeful slogans but hide from hard truths. Steel, cement, plastics, the backbone of modern infrastructure, all produce huge carbon emissions. Smil reveals we have no scalable, low-carbon alternatives for them yet. These materials anchor not just buildings, but entire economies, underscoring why environmental fixes aren't simple flicks of a switch. Scientific progress is often mistaken as magical progress. Smil lays out a sobering principle. Science delivers facts and tools, but not easy fixes or utopias. It's like a map, not the terrain itself. Understanding these limits is the first step toward real solutions, not wishful thinking. So where does this leave us? Smil refuses to indulge in naive hopes or apocalyptic doom. Instead, he demands we face the brutal facts and start working pragmatically now. The future might still hold a brighter path, but only if we stop treating fairy tales as plans and embrace gritty reality. That deserted grocery shelf from the start, it's just the tip of a giant iceberg of reality Vaclav Smil pulls you through. Understanding how energy enmeshes with everything, how supply chains balance on razor-thin edges, and why we can't sugarcoat environmental truths is the wake-up call we all need. Try this. Next time you buy something, ask yourself, what hidden diesel, fragile chain, or carbon shadow does it carry? Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.